A very warm welcome and thank you so much for joining us in this session today. My name is Jimmy Chakacha. I'm an SME banking specialist. I work for the International Corporation. Today, I will be a moderator for this session. As you all know, IFC has partnered with Fidelity Bank Ghana capacity of its SME clients during this pandemic. And today we will be learning about how best we can adjust our business plan to be able to maneuver through this pandemic. And with me is the Fidelity Bank team, joined together by Linus Kumi. Linus Kumi is the Director for SME and Commercials. So without much ado, I'd like to welcome Linus Kumi to take us through. Linus, over to you and most welcome.
Thank you, Jimmy, and thanks to the entire team out there in Kenya. It's been such a privilege and a great opportunity to work with you. We bring you feedback from SMEs in Ghana, and we are able to compare and look at the activities from the SMEs side as well from Kenya. Today I'm here with the gentleman I call has the longest name, Gustav Ni Ayi Mokobi Ayi, who heads the commercial wing of our commercial and SME department, and Mr. James Soraka Tete, he's an Englishman, to help us attend to some of the issues that will come up in the discussions that we are going to have on this section. I think I shall quickly go on to my slides and let you know the reasons why we are here and some of the things that we have learned during these 3 sessions, and what we position to learn in this one. This is my favorite quote, and I would like to quote my board chairman. Wait and see approach is often the most damaging move in uncertain times. Be open-minded and ready for challenges as well as opportunities. This period has really positioned us to take advantage of opportunities that are coming our way. It's not only about the challenges. We've learned a few things from the 3 webinars from our master trainer, Margaret Jackson, starting with the end in mind. As if we know, today will be the last of the 4 series that we are delivering to talk about our plans. We are protecting our people. People here include clients and staff, and planning for the skills for the next generation. The skills that will be required. Back in the day, we will have skills of being able to go and mingle well and socialize well. Today, the skills will be more IT savvy than it will be in the previous years. We also have learned that cash continues to be the driving force. How we manage our costs and position our business will determine how we will survive this pandemic and be able to achieve what we seek to do in the coming years. Keeping up with the change. There may be so many changes. It will come and it will go, but are we in a position to take advantage of it? And the last one here that I have picked is invest for the long term. You need to put in the resources, both human and financial. This is about time we move away from the past. Things have changed, and we need to change with the times to be able to position the businesses that we all encounter to the level where we can, hit our chest and say we have reached that level where we are surviving. We are living beyond the COVID pandemic. I have a quick slide. Why return to normal when you can recover to winning positions? Today, digital is no more an option. It is a necessity. And from what we have learned, if anything, this period has shown us that we can achieve more than what we used to even achieve when we had no COVID. Today, I can tell you for a fact, we have one of the best app systems in the market that allows you to do all the things you can imagine even before COVID. So today, you can be able to do your daily transactions, engage in activities that hitherto you will have to walk into a bank to be able to do that. You can bank your savings, you can bank your sales any time of the day even when the banking halls are closed. And we've been able to do that through technology. The last webinar, I did mention that we have invested quite significantly in IT, and we continue to do that so that we can interact more, so that you can also transact your business in a very safe environment. Today, COVID, we are told, is going to be with us for some time, and the better we position ourselves to take advantage of the opportunities, the earlier for us. This is my favorite slide. Not everything that fits the void completes the picture. A tangerine fits perfectly within the garlic, the bulb of the garlic. However, does it belong there? Over time, it's going to suck the water out of it. This is a time where you will have so many people come to you, giving you stories and fitting into that space. But is that where you really belong? This is a time where you look for a partner that will provide you the right decision, the right solution at the right time to enable you, be able to adjust to this environment. We don't just hop from place to place. So this webinar exercise is to, position us in a way that we're able to know where the right fit is, where we occupy the right position, and to do that and to navigate all this environment. We have today, as always, Margaret Jackson, who is also a consultant for the IFC. She's a master trainer. She's an SME herself and has great passion in developing other SMEs to the level that we will be able to build a corporate out of an SME. Please help me welcome Margaret. I call her the real McCoy, to lead us through this process. To lead us through this process and let us know what we need to adjust, what sort of planning we need to do to be able to survive this pandemic and beyond. Thank you. Margaret.
Thank you very much, Linus. Linus, you're not the only person who calls me the real McCoy. I think Jimmy has started calling me that. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're warmly welcome to this session. To be honest with you, my name is Margaret Jackson, but when I train, my participants call me Mrs. J. That's the real name. That's the real McCoy, Mrs. J. So you're welcome. Today, I'm happy to be with you as usual. But I also have this sad feeling because I know it is the end. But you know what gives me pleasure? The fact that I know this is going to be the fourth one and we have given you enough to enable you go out there and succeed. Before I start, I would like to say a big thank you to IFC for giving me the opportunity to be with you for 4 sessions. I would also like to say a big thank you to Fidelity Bank, Jimmy, who has been working with me, and the production team. Thank you so much. Now, I'm sure they think I'm going to say, let's move into I'm not going to say that. Now, let's move right straight into the reason why we are here this morning. Thank you, as usual, for joining us. I know that most of you are thinking and most of you are busy. So to have you here with us is a pleasure. Why are you thinking? Why are you busy? Because we were on lockdown, we were unlocked. Then the restrictions, most of the restrictions have been relaxed. And so we have to go back to business, but we have to go back to business, but at the same time, think of our mental, our economic health, and our financial health as well as SME owners. I mean, we are all in this together. So I can see how it's important. You see, I'm so grateful you are here because I know that you have competing needs. Thank you very much. And you are not going to regret being with us this morning. So shall I move straight into the real meat, the reason why we are here? You know, several decades ago, Bruce Lee, for those of you who are as old as I am, or even older than me, can remember the famous martial arts actor. And he came up with this quote, and I like it so much because when I saw the quote, I started thinking about my own house. I have weeping willows. And when it rains and it's really stormy, the trees go this way. No, I think you should see me do it because it's amazing. You know, the trees go this way and that way, this way and that way. And if you don't know how weeping willows are like, you'll be so scared. You will think they are going to break. They never break. They stand strong, no matter how stormy it is. I always tell you, I'm an Achim woman, even though my name is Jackson. I speak Chi like no man's business. And when I speak to SME owners, because the then it's me babet na han my so na bi ayanti ase ye me pese ye ko na ye business na etumpon na me kase se quote ya me dia to he Bruce Lee no kind sabu kai pa na sa time action movies na pay action movies pa semia na be kai no ono no ka say sa semia boy say se dua bi o ha esi ho ye o se dupon wo se nsu ato na etutu but e bi o ho a se na esi kan wotwi mu no o ye slim macho o si ho infamano ba no ko say no ba say o ko say no ba say di obehwa ne sense you not no di ogina ho na die eso na e would say din na wa ye bari nti na webu na. This is what I want to do now. I want to ask you, what do you think this means in terms of running a business? Could you kindly write in the chat box for me what you think this means in a few words? And for those of you in the studio, please try it too. Could you kindly tell me what you think this quote means in relation to running a business? And Jimmy will be helping me with the things you write in the chat box.
Yes, Margaret.
Thank you very much, Jimmy.
So as we to write to some few comments on those who have joined us, I would like to recognize a few people on Facebook. Thank you so much, guys, on Facebook. We have Prince Kojo Safo joining us on Facebook. Thank you so much. We have Rebecca. Say, my name is Rebecca. I'm in the educational sector. Morning, all. Thank you, Margaret. There's Abdul Rashid from Mars Premier Farms. Thank you so much.
Okay, Jimmy, have we got any meaning for what I have in terms of running a business?
All right, Margaret, we haven't still gotten any reflections on the stiffest tree being most easily cracked. So as we wait, maybe we can proceed and we go along. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. You see, it means we need to be flexible. Today's world is not the same as last year. Last year, we were in a different world. We didn't know about COVID-19. This year, we are working during a time where the whole world is experiencing COVID-19. So survival depends on recognizing that fact and adapting to it. You see, if you stick to the old ways, you may find yourself in trouble. You may be rigid and you may crack like the stiff tree because you are stiff. But you have to adapt the attitude of the willow. And so when the wind moves this way, you go that way. And in the long run, you may not only survive, you may thrive. So this will help you. So you see, if this happens as a business, then you are likely to weather the storm and can maintain your core competencies because you're standing firm and then adjust to changing needs of the marketplace. And this is what we are going to discuss today. Now, Jimmy, you know, I'm so excited to be teaching this because I think this is so critical. We looked at surviving to thrive. Now we are telling you exactly what to do also with your plan to ensure that you don't only survive, but you thrive. So what are we going to be looking at today? We are still looking at introductions, and I am hoping they are coming in. Then we will discuss shifting your perspective, adjusting your business plan, explaining your plan to lenders, because at the end of the day, as business people, we may need to explain our plan to other stakeholders. And what should you be able to do after this? You will be able to identify your business strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the current marketplace, adjust your business plans for the new circumstances, and explain your adjusted plan to lenders and other stakeholders. And you know, Mr. Dear, so what's the sound? So yet to say, we lottery. So we are sad, dear. Just say, COVID, yeah, be ya last year, anyway. And ne say, who to me, Dina Pinty, now ushe, now one young who barry, said Gianna, now to me, Cossy, now Cosa. When I obey to me, Edna, na dear Wayne, na Bessie Beviano, who won't say, business, no. Well, who say it's na ho painting, intino, makeka kekandia, ye bibia, ye see opportunities, ye baby, ye see strengths, ye baby, ye see weakness, ye baby, ye see threats. Hey, Pacho, say, fa kumya pants naswa, snasi ye pa na tie de ebe. If you said the ebe, a dukem kura, the abana yankitu. So are you ready to go into this with me? I want to explain to you what the course will help you to do, the benefits. You see, it will help you determine a path for surviving in this period. You know, these are, I always say, we are in a period of radical uncertainties. So if this is a period of radical uncertainty, then this is going to help you navigate that path. And when I started, I said opportunities. Sometimes it's difficult for you alone to identify opportunities. But after going through this, they'll say, hey, share, Mrs. J can be about opportunities. Amount for meeting moments and the opportunities are opportunities. And it could also help you, you know, secure funding, because our plan there, we, Mamin can't your bank be anywhere work. On besides say o plan or him, a hina will pay. Inti so what plan dear, when no be whom woman to what's your kind house, no near your kind house, a plan where it's ready and the way you trade. So you see, you will have a plan, and it will be easy for you to know your ask, and we'll be talking about that. And it will help you explain your new business plan to lenders. But when you call yes, trust it. So wow, can here, yes, and then you want to say equity brofun and you can relationship manager besides say now they are to besides say now they are to. So you see, this is what staying with me for about 1.5 hours will help you do. Now there's no kingdom without rules. Please participate. Maybe so how many times? We say found shame. They say garbage in, garbage out. So the bola should be my bola never say intimate pouch. What person when you so maybe so question that no one answer. Maybe so someone where ye and won't be as so and website. And let's respect each other. So obi can be nasa won't here. Don't go State your point too in chat, and we'll give you the opportunity. And if you want to ask a question, we'll give you the opportunity. And your mics have been muted because you see, nipa bebree unti say you want to mic new video no yes I you want to be internet na you want to kasa na won't ni. So please, let's work with the mics that have been muted, and let's write in chat. Thank you very much. I knew you would understand. Now, you know, I said we will learn about each other, and I know you've started writing in the chat box. So let's see if more people have introduced themselves. If you haven't, this is a chance for you to write again. When your chance you Allo business any own or find a mean panya 5 few young my chat box and can you are done. Jimmy? Hello, Jimmy.
Yes, Margaret.
Have we got anything in the chat box so far? Please.
Yes, my reflections are coming in thick, both from Facebook and here on MS Teams. Allow me to take a couple on the reflection about the stiffest tree and that which is able to bend towards the wind. All right, so we have Chris Abilimi on Facebook says, that means little drops of water can make a mighty ocean. Cyrus Asamoah still on Facebook says, that means we must adjust to challenging times. Kwame Adu still on Facebook says, we must be flexible with the market. And another last one here on MS Teams, Paul Hanson says, I think Bruce Lee quotation means businesses should be more flexible so we can adapt to different environment and situations. All right, so I see guys are sending in their names. Lebene Lady on Facebook says, I'm Lebene Lady. My business is Maiden Logistics Limited. Thank you so much. Another one says, I'm Cyrus Asamoah Boateng. Thank you so much. Back to you, Margaret.
Okay, thank you so much, Jimmy. Thank you so much, and thank you very much to my participants. Oh wow, you got my question. You were all so spot on. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Now let's look at this. Shifting your perspective. You know, perspective is the way you see something or the way your outlook towards life or certain things. You see, it is how you look and interpret the world. And how is it shaped? It is shaped by your attitudes, you know, the experiences you've had, where you were socialized, at the schools you went to. And sometimes they even say your personality. So say you can't about shifting your perspective. No, I'm saying that perspective, no crass, interesting. And you're saying you're sifa. No, ni people are saying you're sifa. Ebi ohwa asuku ku an wo koye baby ayewo kroko hwan ye tete wo any ebia experiences software ne niema wo hu wo wiase mu no eno no nyina ka ho na ma wo hu wiase senia wo hu wo hu inti no ye pese ye hwe perspective inti me ba bisa mo asem kitwe bi na me hu bia perspective me pa chowo ade ya media hye eden na wo hu. What do you see in this picture? I want you to tell us exactly what you see in this picture in the chat box.
Clear water.
Chat box now. And whilst we wait, Jimmy, if there's anything else in the chat box, I'd like to hear.
Yes, Margaret, the participants are live. And so we had a few that came in. Someone says, my name is Nana Kwame. I am into chroma printing my business. Another one says, that's on Facebook, says, I am Boadu. I am into e-commerce. I am an e-commerce store owner. Yes, let me check. Thank you so much, guys, for sending in your comments. Back to you, Margaret.
Okay. So do we have anything on the picture so far? Can you ask the studio audience if they see anything in this picture?
Okay. Maybe Linus can tell and see. I can full of water, Margaret.
He says he sees a glass
full of water.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Okay. He sees a glass full of water. Okay. You see,
Indeed.
Sometimes when I showed, and Linus, thank you very much. When I showed this, others say they see a glass half full. Others see a glass half empty. Now, someone has seen the glass full. But you see, in actual fact, I have a glass with water filled to the middle. And depending on your experiences in life, you may see it as half full or half empty. You see, and there's nothing wrong with this. It is not good or bad to see it the way, because it's your perspective and it's the way your experiences have shaped you. For me, seeing it half full is not enough. You should see a glass that needs to be filled. And I'm sure that's what Linus saw. That's why he saw a glass that is full. You see, seeing a glass that gives you the opportunity to fill it to the brim. So when I see such a glass, I say, I see a glass that is filled to the brim. I don't even see it as half full. I see that there's an opportunity. So for us as business people, what this means is that this pandemic, we shouldn't see it as a half full or a half empty glass. We should see what has happened as an opportunity for us. Maybe there are opportunities there to make us make more money. And don't think I'm being cynical. No, there's some actual business sense behind it. And I always quote the self-made American estate millionaire and TV show star, Barbara Corcoran. She talks about this type of attitude. She says that it's a time for us to breathe in, think deeply, and come up with plans that will enable us to become stronger at the end of this pandemic than ever before. You see, so for me, there's nothing wrong with seeing an opportunity. We should see opportunities all around us during this period. How do I mean? Let's look at this. You see, you can have a half-empty view and say business is coming to a halt. Well, you could also see a half full, so I need to top it and say we have a new moment of silence to think and plan. So I am asking you to change your perspective. I'm asking you to take this as an opportunity to think and plan. If you haven't had that planning session with your team, I think you should do it. You see, sometimes some person may say, oh, now people are canceling, people will not buy from us. Everything is coming to an end and we are not getting, supplies are expensive. This is the time to negotiate, find new suppliers. And you can also pivot to meet new interests instead of saying our customers are not interested in our offerings. I'm sorry, I'm sure people are tired of me and they'll say, has Casapreco given this woman some money? No, I don't even know anybody in Casapreco, but I loved it. As soon as this started, Casapreco started, the bars were closed. They started rubbing alcohol. They started sanitizers. They pivoted quickly and we can all do that. So they didn't see a half empty glass. They saw that the glass was half full and needed to be filled to the brim. So now I'm saying, don't even say it's half full. You need to fill it to the brim. I see a glass that needs to be filled to the brim. And this is what I would like to share with you. You see, this saying is so true and relevant at this point in time in our lives. What got you here won't get you there. It will not get you there. What got us there in 2019 will not get us to where we want to go to by the end of 2020 because times have changed, because things have changed. So now I want you, before we go into the next session, tell yourselves that you see this one, I call it a clean slate, a blank sheet. So now walk with me through this session and the next session, and we are going to create the things that will get us to the place where we want to get to. So now have your clean sheets of paper, your clean slate, and let's move on to the next session. Are you ready to move on with me to the next session? If you are, please put yes in the chat box for me, because I'm going to talk about adjusting your business plan. If you are ready to move into the next session with me, please let your yeses flow. Jimmy, have we got any participants who are interested in moving to the next level with us?
Yes, Margaret, waiting to see the yeses through.
Okay. Thank you so very much, Jimmy. So it's about adjusting your business plan. And how many of you are thinking you might need some type of loan or financial assistance to survive this current crisis? Please write yes if you are thinking of that you might need some type of loan or financial assistance, please type yes. Me pacho se sa period pa wujidi se wube here loan ana obi aso wasen atro aye business na type yes wo chat box no man. And ana de na me kan se hwe de do baby a wedu say no enra and na ontumi mfa wondu ho because say no covid aba. Nti mesre wo say o plan na wo fit de na we used to dada and sana covid e beba na so sisem kura o once sisem a ahokyere na obekomu nti mesre mo moma yensesa ye plan nti no pepe pafofo ana peslate bi to nchen na yenhwe de ye ba be yesisi ai. So now let's look at this. You see, if you're thinking of asking for a financial institution for help, be aware that they are going to ask you many questions to determine whether they should lend you their money. Or baby sir was so which is open so bisa na financial institution be ma osikadia mesrew or baby sir questions. Be na which is say we dey I am shisho na dey question bebre no wo bisa me. Wa dream so ba baby sa usika so bisa no question so they koye dey na wo hia ahe na wo hia adan na no dey na mde ma wo na anso. You see, it's the same thing. If your child is asking you for money, you ask your child questions. What do you need the money for? How much do you need? Why do you need so much? What happened to the amount that I gave to you the last time? It's the same with the bank. Why do you think the bank will be different? So now let's ask ourselves, what are the type of questions that you think the bank will ask you? Just write one for me. Each person should write one question that the banks normally ask us for. So whilst we are waiting, Jimmy, do we have anything in the chat box, please?
Yes, indeed, Margaret. Thank you so much, our dear participants, for your lively participation. So on your previous question on who would want financing for their business, there were so many that came from Facebook. There was Desmond Opoku, thank you. Frank Obada, Cyrus Asamoah, Nana Kwame had said yes. Thank you so much, guys. All right, there were very good reflections on your previous question, Mrs. J, on the content of the glass. Please allow me to read one. There was one from Nana Amaka on see life, see good future. That is what I see in that picture. Glass and thank you so much, Nana.
Thank you. And and he or she doesn't miss our webinars. Thank you for joining us always. And Nana Kwame, I hear familiar names. Thank you very much for always joining us.
Indeed. And then to your last question, Margaret, allow me to pick two.
Yes.
Thank you. So there's one, Kofi says the question the bank will be asking is, what is the purpose of borrowing?
Yes, spot on.
Then another one.
Thank you so much.
Indeed. Please proceed, Margaret.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for answering the questions. Yes, one of the first things it wants to know is what kind of business you have and what you do. And as you also said, what do you need the money for? You know, so way back, I'm sure when you were thinking of your business and you wanted to start the business, you asked yourself certain questions. Let's look at this. What am I going to sell? And how will I present it? I'm sure these were some of the questions you asked yourself. To whom will I sell it? Because you can't just produce or have a service industry without knowing who you want to sell your services or products to. Where will I sell it? Location. How much will I charge? And last but not the least, how will I let people know that I'm selling it? You know, these answers formed very basic, they form the basis of your plan. You see, so everybody has a business plan. So how many of you have really taken a loan for your businesses before? The first one was, do you want a loan? Now is, how many of you have taken a loan for your businesses before? Me pauchawo, mumuahi na afji loan for my business da. Se say no de me kan say wo be fiase no, wo ka eden na me koton. Na simple na mechechire na package na ma won. Why na meton ama no? Ehimfa na meton no. Ahina me charge ahi meji nkrofo na ahi for ade na me yen and me den na nkrofo po hu say your business etisa wa hu wo dwi we nyina ho na chere say basic business plan na chere say wo ye no na me pese me bisa mo say nipa ahi na agi loan wo bank da so what agi loan wo bank da wo dey tro yes keke mami me da si bebre. And so what did I know what show yes sir? Show mommy a day in question pan ye bisa. So what you be done? A day in question ye bisa. Would you show question no back, mommy? Keke. Jimmy, do we have any?
Yes, Margaret. So we've had a couple from the previous questions, and as we wait for the ones more recent question, maybe I can take a couple from the previous one as we wait.
Okay.
All right. So there's one, Frank, on Facebook says, the bank would ask, what do you need the money for? Thank you so much. Kwame still on Facebook says, the bank normally asks, right. Then Cyrus had asked, what is the reason for the loan? Thank you so much. I would like to update Jazzy Powell on Facebook, Powell, image promotion and advertising company, and I'm always up here. Thank you so much, Jazzy. Back to you as we wait for the other reflection through.
Okay, thank you very much. So the banks will ask you questions that if you have your business plan, you shouldn't have any challenges with. Now let's go to this. Let's look at the business plan, the components of the business plan. Your formal written business plan consists of these: your mission and the vision. You see, they describe what kinds of business you are operating. Oh, mission, no vision. That's your business who are operating. Assign such plans, no decisions you make, and all plans you put in place should work towards this. Well, when it's our vision, no vision, and now just now your plans. Now plans, now making sure say where mission, no vision, what to me are achieving. So your operations plan, I describe it. Senior. Or per se, who produce and will serve or product and service. No? So the mission, the operations plan describes how you intend to produce your product or service. The supply chain, one over at the FU on one so over town near my one Jumana yen line munina and our marketing plan the empato and non American year pa. And no extra products and services are overton, send your overton. And send a beya Oberman who say me or how we shall have me ton we. So the marketing plan describes what products or services you sell, how you sell them, and how you make the marketplace aware of your existence. And your information and communication technology. And no your internal and external technology. Send your what share planning. So we'll be using now. I'm aware to me at share with data. Well, what you need to have for your employees to communicate with each other, with members of the value chain, and with customers. Now you're human resource plan. Human resource, they're describing in Kofua we here. I bet me I'm one running a business, no, any skills before you can run. So your human resource plan talks about describes how many people you need to run your business and what skill sets do they need to have. So, then they are called financial data. Not just say, details how much money it is going to take to execute pay. What church or plan for fair? What financial plan? Let's just here, here, send your bay and near my now will be to me. So we need financial plan, not dear. Not just at your working now, every over no education will not work. You need your financial plan so that you know exactly how much you need. And yes, I know I could talk about crime. Then continuity of operations plan describes processes, procedures, and policies that go into effect when disaster occurs to keep the business running. You see, you need to have backup plans. Then you continuity of operations. Just all the plans. Send your BBC to send your COVID. Ube who send your ube to me. I done it and and then they are not treating me a cast. Now plan A, only plan B. Or plan A, new plan B, new plan C. And so it's now. Oh, shame now that time. No, I to say below 3 now. You kind. But it's on set time. Yen to me, you na say the net doors. They say yeah, be sure marketing plan. So, see, to me, marketing plan, cry a bit boy, a quanya ye tree, into mommy and your marketing plan. Paucho, so what's it? SWOT analysis done, Pacho, yes, well, chat box money. So, if you have heard about SWOT analysis before, I would like you to write yes in the chat box for me. Jimmy, if we have anything in the chat box, could we hear whilst we wait for the yeses or the no's for the SWOT analysis?
For the yeses and no's for the analysis, we had yeses from the previous question on how many of us have taken loan during this time. And we had a couple of yeses from Facebook. We had Desmond, we had Nana Amaka, thank you so much. And we also Frank still on Facebook. And we have guys who are still introducing themselves and telling us the kind of business that they are in. So I'd like to pick a couple here. There's someone named Kojo Safo still on Facebook, says, my company is Crystal Clean Masters Limited. Thank you so much, Kojo. And then there's someone from YouTube says, near our work involves water supply and systems. And now the question, we have yeses coming in here. Nana Amaka still on Facebook says yes. Kwame says yes. And Tawia on says yes. Thank you so much. And then still on MS Teams, we have Wofa Ado. He's an agri input dealer. Says yes to your SWOT analysis question. Thank you much, guys.
Thank you very much, my dear entrepreneurs, and thank you so much, Jimmy. Yes, the SWOT analysis helps you to identify all internal strengths. So, you know, the internal strengths and weaknesses in the business, and the opportunities and threats caused by the external environment. It is a SWOT analysis now. Well, S no your strengths, business na W no your weakness because then edwuma bia wo kwa bibi ho kakra touch ma wahu na sa wo yenso a no trao opportunities wo environment no crew wo ye business no wom Ghana ha wahu any bibia no any business no ye de emfa enya wo business na all running away but it sounds say wo community it sounds say wo country mu it sounds say wo wiase ma ne emesi a etumi bua wo no eno ma opportunities de no so etumi how business no ye friend threats wahu eno any business no any weakness but ye de wo say wo wonte name business no community munti na adenti na ya SWOT analysis no SWOT analysis no ho eboama wo dream information here pa ebetumi so achiro pa manual some issues, important issues. Well, the SWOT analysis, as I was saying in G, helps you to consider which information is most relevant and also highlights the most important issues. By developing core strengths in your business, you are able to take advantages of opportunities that present themselves because of external factors. Well, when you maybe to me see now say, hey, where the amount opportunity, me making sure say me make it the most out of it. Well, so it is a what was strength, any weakness, a boama what here and say, hey, and then my strength, me weakness, and the opportunity, ni threats, na wo opportunity, ni threats, na a boa mountain, the obey to me a yachtna. So what I was saying in G is that analyzing your strengths and weaknesses will help you understand where you are today. The opportunities and threats help you to see where you might go tomorrow. Inti sa wo ya no I say eh mahodeni e ha de me touch makakra but say me hwe baby am wo ya me ye adwuma opportunity we na wo threat we na wo ha ene metumi ayese metumi yese so we hu. Inti let's take a closer look at how you could do this for your marketing plan. I want to give an example. If you are in the fashion business, now I just realized that there's a threat out there. What is it? Alibaba and Kiku. I just found out doing my research. They are selling clothes. Even if you bring in second-hand clothes, you are in deep trouble. Why? Hey, I saw a beautiful wedding gown on Kiku for 61 Ghana cedis. You heard me, Ghana cedis. Am I going to sew? If you're a fashion designer, am I going to come to you if I can get a beautiful dress for 61 cedis? Because I'm going to wear that dress only once. But there are also opportunities out there. Look at this. You sew. Okay, Kiku has come. But we all need masks. The schools need masks. The schools are going to reopen. We have all been told now that the virus isn't going to go away now. So we have to know how to move in the new normal. So why don't you produce masks? Why don't you start? You are a fashion designer. Bring out stylistics ones. That's what I call them. The stylistics ones. You see some and you're like, wow. You see. So there are threats out there, but there are also opportunities. That's why Barbara said, if you think carefully and you breathe in, you will see the opportunities. Look at this. If you are in the agri sector, the 1D, 1F project, you won't pay tax for, I think, about 5 years. You don't need a big factory for that. Import duties have been waived, so it's an opportunity. When others are complaining about import duties, if you are doing 1D, if you are in that 1D, 1F thing, you are out of it. So these are things that we need to be considering at this time when we talk about strengths, weaknesses, threats, and opportunities. You see, your strength may be that you have good staff. Your strength, maybe you own a restaurant, is your good food, the good recipe. Your weakness may be that you have a high staff turnover. So these are things that you've got to sit down and consider. Because of strength, to me, because the ABA will be no Diane, medium de pa, obi besi a kenchi banku ye be a baneke, a walk in ke banku no a heel apa. So maybe that's your strength, but maybe employees come ba be amen ya no ka ba be ya no is a new tashi ni okay o team nya strengths nya weaknesses ni COVID-19 ebane miniji opportunities say ni ba nya make good use of allow miniji threats say ni COVID-19 keba. You see, so these are the things you've got to be thinking about in this period. And I'm going to talk about the 6 P's of marketing. Since we are talking about marketing, we have product, we have price, we have place, price, promotion, packaging, and person. Now look at this, the 6 P's. So whilst these create the value proposition for your product, service, or business, You probably thought about these when you were establishing your business. I mean, if you're establishing your business, you would think about these. You see, and ideally, you review both SWOT and the marketing plan every year. You should. During crises such as this current one, you certainly should revisit that plan. Please, if you haven't revisited this, please do this. This is my last webinar. Please do this. You certainly should revisit this. Today, we are going to start you on that process. How many of you have considered revisiting your 6 Ps during this period? If you have, please give me a yes in the chat box. If you haven't, please give me a no. Me paucha wo 6 Ps ya maka say a product adekwa wo ton baby a wo ton no nebo senia wo manfo ehun se wo ho ene senia wo present what the wo crowd no wo packaging na ma won ene one one wo ye adwuma no senia moma nkofo hu business ni sifa no me pacho hwan na wadwen sa nieme hu sa period yi pacho se waya mami yes wo chat box so when ye yen so pacho mami no. Jimmy, whilst we are waiting, have we got anything of interest that you would want me to know and others to know, please?
Yes, Margaret, thank you so much. So a couple of comments came in. And to your question on the SWOT analysis, if how many of us have been able to use the SWOT analysis, there were 2 comments that came in. One from Afua Kani on YouTube. He said, yes, I have heard of the SWOT analysis. Thank you so much. There were a couple of yeses also. The same. There was one, Dominic Kwaku on Facebook said yes. There was Frank also said, thank you so much. And here on MS Teams, Carl Hanson said yes to SWOT analysis. All right, now moving on to your question on how many of us have considered revisiting the 6 Ps. I can see a yes that has come in on MS. Hami, thank you so much. Hami, yes, Margaret, I think we can proceed and we'll pick them up as we move forward. Back to you.
Okay. So you see, your product addresses the product or service. It considers how it meets customer needs. Into when we have product and our service, customers then na won here. Wahu we fit the amount for here. Na waya amount. And no na ye can about we in a place now ye can wahi. And no ye on your physical environment where the location where you sell. If you have a shop, how easy. And when you power so we shopper easy man crofo. A safe man crofo so one ba maybe be train crofo be adie. Men dadam na rebi say me hu de nti ankofo ba me ha no onkui. Na hu niema opama ne fe pa. Ba baby na o hye no in food throw na o park e car kra usuro say ye be real. You know, I once taught a class and there was a lady who, when I taught them the 6 Ps, said, now I understand why people come to me and they don't come anymore. I had to consider the place. She said her place was dusty, and when people parked their cars, they were afraid that others will go and try and pilfer from the cars, and so they would come and not, she didn't have repeat business. So the place is very important. Your price. I would like to talk about price. Looks at what you should charge for your offering. You see, you should consider the price in terms of needed profit, supply, demand, and perceived value. Dear Miki, will be a while. No, I call ye not yet changing some crop once in a way or the hand of Professor Jimmy and dear Minchia. So you've got to consider all these things. And then I want to talk about promotion, and it focuses on how you make your product, service, or business known. Because we share want to me in so kania now one fan share table as say we share also kania and so this tables to no be so now business it is what's so kania. Now I'm going to packaging, and that addresses the containers in which you put your products, including how much protection they offer the product and how attractive or connected it is to your overall brand image. Say so a COVID abandon go for dream packaging home. So one packaging ye no shoes at the senior OCN in Mansha, Minya Kurukura, then the person addresses the image that you and your employees project. It reminds you to focus on how you and your staff are going to demonstrate the values that you want representatives of the business to exhibit, such as honesty, customer focus. Into when you are a person, you dream who say, and then I'm more per se a man for a while bontin, your cow company now, one dream for our company. Say, would you customers no won who here pa na and answer mudi no crepa and answer mo community na mu wom dia din na won yie ne won bambo hia mana. These are the things that you have to think about when we talk about the 6 P's. And in this era, these are questions that will help you pivot your business. Yenhwe products. What me ebisa hwe. Say wo hwe product a. Na wo bisa wo ho say inti say no me offering ya me ade ya me ye relevant in this period ana. People lose their jobs. They tend to reduce spending because of necessities to preserve cash. If your offering is not necessity like soap or medical supplies, now who ya chiru? So what ton bibi to say? Yen fan say luxury good bi na bia. What ton say hwehwehwem bi na o ye na o di bibi hwehwehwem mu suso nti ne bo adin ase say nkofo ni sika. Nti bia na wo dwen ho na obi sa wo say na me product mi yi ade hwehwehwem mi mfim na nipa ntimi nto ana. And these are some of the things that you have to be thinking of in this period. You can, if you sell, let's look at another one. I want to give you another example. A B&O service of less demand. You see, as everyone shifts to video conferencing during this pandemic, will the demand for telephones without video capacity drop? These are some of the questions that you should be asking yourself. So say no, say obia shifted. Will offerings likely become less relevant, even more relevant, or when the crisis ends? These are some of the questions that may person will be with products. Now, place. Can customers go to my place of business? And so be sound. Say microphone to me in corner say microphone person but kwa. Now will be sound who say, me then I made my business now, but send your microphone be to me and my customers no. Won't be to me at all the emission. We call online and na ye easier na. Say ni ebesia e-payment wo Ghana na. Wo send your bank na kasa one day say no online banking in here so bed nanti kra wutumi ti fia no why your transfers no be there. Into one so be any easier man crofo and now they still would jisika no one call online and now be used to momo and now say ube pay visa transfer now what to me why you online marketing here na when you make questions let's say you beside. Then you can also ask yourself, what do I need to do to protect my customers, employees at my place of business? Into what maybe so place of business, no? Into protective gear, and then I met me and say, send your beya and crofo beba my business, no, won't hunt your own kosru. So we say, na me mobi or CEO or call one of the hotels, no call no sru. Now, the idea make about communication. Hotel no create be we putting measures in place. We won't communicate in microphone. Now we all call by mistake. No, no who she you to quiet so for that. Still call ye. Baby reception say yeah they we are SCN into wound to me receptionist nan kasasa keke ye protect one. Assist or one full lift no. Dear a bellboy no say mean to me no share lift no at the same time in call. Because of COVID-19. Nti krache, Mr. Oko, Mesumeba, just say, yem, niema we put it in place. Nti say, no, wo crowd, business really, they care about employees, no one care about your customers. But your dream, what's period in niema sisa. So think about those things. What I was saying in English was that I know someone who traveled to one of those nice hotels, the big hotels in Kumasi, and the measures they had put in place was amazing. And so he felt safe and came to me to say, if you need to travel to Kumasi, go to this sort of hotel because they care about the employees and they care about customers. Then about price, you are asking yourself, can you charge higher? Put me at so kakra. But price gouging, just said I'm a catcher. To say a be a senior near my a be a near my coso kakranti be a sort to so kakra since senior first now be a okay. But I'm kotuswa because we did say dear, or be any be mina me will be. You see, what I was saying is that don't do price gouging. Don't increase prices unnecessarily, because you are the only person who has the product or the only person who is able to produce in large quantities. You just keep on increasing the price. Please don't do that. Your clients will not forgive you when the dust settles. So you could also give some of your offerings for free, and that's what we did as facilitators. Hey, facilitators, during this pandemic, free webinar, free this, free that, because you say in the long run, your clients and the general public will never forget you. Will they? They won't. So sometimes you should give some for free. And this is what facilitators did. A lot of free webinars. Now let's look at promotion. How can I get more customers to know about my business? These are some of the questions you should be asking yourself. How can I co-market? I like it. Before the pandemic, if you ever went to a place like Max Mart in 37, you see there's a pharmacy shop in the building, and there's also, if I'm not mistaken, a florist. I think it's Jandel. They are there because they are co-marketing. They are selling what Max Mart does not sell, but they've come together and they have partnered, and each benefits from the other. So these are some of the things that you should be doing to ensure that during this pandemic, your promotion is on top. Are my customers seeing my advertisements? You should be asking yourself this question. If they are really seeing your advertisements, if they are not, then maybe you've got to advertise on radio, television, since people are at home and more, and now they are listening to their TVs. Even though the restrictions have been relaxed, please, I'm sure we all know that most organizations are running shift. So people are at home. So maybe if you advertise your products on TV and radio, people will listen. And a lot of people are online now. Now we have all learned to go online. So maybe you've got to change the way you do your promotion. Then packaging. Do I need to change my packaging to make it safer for customers? These are some of the questions you should ask yourself. Maybe you should change the look of your packaging to reflect concerns of the current crisis. There are a lot of concerns. So maybe the way you package your goods have got to change. Then we look at person. As a business owner, you should always be concerned with how the market perceives you and your staff. What business? Send you a man for who business no and no staff ne. And we here wa denche because ke anabuake o meneme o kafwa meda in the long run ke moko ekume pe vienoko ni ehi nye business here about 10 people back ake ameba, they won't do business with you. Are you known as the team that will give extra service, or are you known as a bare bones service but really low priced? You see, the behaviors and attitudes of all employees reflects the value of the business as a whole. During a crisis like this becomes even more important. In times of need, people want to feel that the community, including merchants, are cooperating to solve the bigger problem and to support each other. Long after the crisis ends, people remember those who operate on either extreme of what is considered acceptable behavior. So you see, you remember when we did communicating with stakeholders, I said you must make people feel that you are empathetic, that you are concerned, and then you must take the action. So this is relevant here. Please let people feel your empathy, show your concern, and act on it, because they say actions speak louder than words. So you should also be asking yourselves, how do we show this concern during this period? Now let's look at this. I have strengths and weaknesses SWOT analysis sheets for you. So you can do this, and you can also do it as a whole, SWOT for marketing, strengths and weaknesses, or you can do it as a whole for your business, or you can also start with marketing and build it up. And we are not going to complete this here. I'm just going to show it to you. And then when you go back home, because the bank will give it to you, then you will look at it. So the best way to do this is to start with a single offering that you sell. For example, consider the strengths and weaknesses of that offering with regards to the product considerations on page 1. So there are considerations on page 1. And those are, how does the offering meet your customers' needs? So if you sell, let's say, hair products, how does that, maybe for shampoo, how does that offering meet your customers' needs? In how many varieties do you offer the shampoo? Do you have enough to meet current demand? You see, for each marketing category, the handout gives you questions. Into a deal with a more questions, so into me farmer keke, into a more questions, say, product, then they meet your customers' needs. Sesi awohoi uwo dudua ebetumi emiti wo customers no needs na won na. And me pesa o kan so say anyam penny business a wo ton we nti ade ya wo ye nyina wo hwe wo strengths no weaknesses no me pesa wo de toto wo important competitor ho obi nso o ton bi ti say wa make most important me pa chere say business say unkofo anto wo de a won koto ne de no only your most important competitor. So look at this in terms of your most important competitor, and I mean the business whom you know tends to either take most of your customers or whom your customer most frequently compares your goods with. So look at this in that light. Me pauchopi so we just SWOT analysis say can you fear near competitors say amehehia ojubara ewo okwenu keham ewo ene be ene ko ogbe o weakness ke o strength here be obakwe opportunities and threats ni ke ogbe na no ni minta oni ofe yake oba compare o strength to opportunities and your, because let's say let me take this. Ona, we have strengths and opportunities. As a company, ke okwe o strength di o core competence be okay match opportunity opportunity we need sanitizers. O machine say ni your okay boni, how can you produce sanitizers? O machine say obanye ni okay fe nose masks. Me pacho dia me can say why you na wie no hwe wo strengths no na fa match opportunities na e wo environment no enya se ye make say kasa preku odi mika na se sia all your sanitizers because COVID buy and sanitizers yan now so koye sanitizers meanwhile wo factory ho wo pamade obi a wo pamade de wo ye den ye sanitizer wo pamade nti opportunity o ho ma any nose masks, face masks. But also what I was saying in Ga and Chi is that there are strengths and opportunities. There are opportunities now because of COVID-19. You heard me say Casapreco is now has retooled, pivoted, and is now doing hand sanitizers and rubbing alcohol. Don't go do rubbing alcohol. If you are a fashion designer, you should rather look at your machines and start sewing masks. So you should match your strengths to the opportunities that are available now. Over in the onushishi, yes, your chat box. What you say? So what you say, mami, yes, what chat box now. If you have understood what I'm trying to do now, please give me yes in the chat box. Your strengths, match your strengths to the opportunities. Jimmy, have we got anything in the chat box? Please.
Miss J, thank you. A lot of comments here, very interesting, that are coming in. Yeah, so there's one we had on our previous question on have revisited the piece, and we had one from Nessie. This is on YouTube. Yes, I have revisited the six. Shedrack Woode. There's one Abbas. I haven't been, and really allow me, Margaret, to read some two comments from very participants here.
Okay.
Dosti on Microsoft Teams says, "Thank you so much, guys. Great program." Another one here who says, "Kudos to the facilitators. Thank you, guys. Keep enjoying the session." And back to you, Margaret, as we wait for the yeses to come through.
Okay. Since we are waiting for the yeses to come through, I'm going to move on to say, this is what I asked you to look at, and I zeroed in on your marketing plan, and I looked at the SWOT analysis, and I said, please match your strengths to the opportunities. Don't go say, because A is doing so much and is earning so much, I'm also going to move to do the same. Look at your core competence. What are you doing? What is your strength? Match your strength to the opportunity out there. Fine, strength against opportunity and your you won't even survive. You'll find yourself in trouble. So having a complete business plan makes it easier to talk with leaders and other stakeholders. Let's consider how to talk with financial institutions in particular. Okay? So what you plan, you know what you see me say amount mini obi akasa. Financial institutions. So person be so wasia. Then you to me kopa. Yen person ya oye wia. Ube to me no akasa. If you change your plans, you need to let all stakeholders know. So when you can communicating with stakeholders, we say be our business and be my stakeholders know. In the say now we call some plan, my stakeholders know. On a call check no quest and you have stakeholders say fairly. A war session name member chonye what to do. On like in VA communicating with stakeholders there. Okay. O check no quest. It's a new camera V. What when only member Fabiane. So asking the bank for a loan, put your plan in writing. The bank is going to need a written business plan. Or find a coffee and bank onyenyo kona book keke Mr. So your plan natural because anya no near the beka. One baby sa one because the factory me. One so be a we see would danya. We your plan. You see your plan, ma. One danya yes ya your plan. So business no so this helps your relationship manager remember the details of your case and share it with others who might be involved in the decision. Me nada bank now who relationship manager no sometimes when you no one or take a decision no. Inti so one man at go bet me dia kwa kwatro bi dia ho betre. Okay plan how relationship manager if I fit any get level, it can join a boss, say, meaning you can batch on a boss in the first place. It will fine. And remember, your relationship manager is not making the decision to grant you the loan or give you your financial consideration in isolation. He or she needs to confer with others. They always need to confer with others. So please, it is important. And know your ask. You should know, be specific in how you ask the bank for help. If you need a loan, be ready with a specific amount. So and be clear on your rationale. And they will ask you, okay, plan ba chobo no ni esanio fe ko oye plan plan e ba chombo no no yesani ofe e wo min panye five plan e hia wa denche. And you should offer proof. And proof me ya straight. Ona the first time in vie ni le ake me poe ake mami nele Madam 5-6 here boy coach me Madam 5-6 kla efe no ko minim se ba ko na me ba en me ka 5-6 no e bi say mami we dey Madam 5-6 ba cho me di ni Mrs. J na 5-6 ne here me na me ka because hu here pa so ko bank ya ye be sa we hu here won. You see, I know from the last session, others were saying, hey, this woman, Madam 5-6, it is critical. Your character. Your character. This includes your credit history and your reputation in the community. It is an indication of whether you are likely to keep your word and have the inclination to repay your debts. Mr. Wu, subayna de hu hiam, enya se bia okodeka na bia ye ba se ya no pa na obedan mika wunim ka dan papa na wia na oba na ready na do kakra ma brain so obedan mika so usuban no community no na wako bank bi da na wantua bank no be hu nti usuban de ehia osu ele ehia wa adenche wo bank amba check for ye other banks ni okay ame bank ye je da aba check ye je your character is very important. Then collateral. The bank wants to know what items of value you are willing to offer as a guarantee of repaying the loan. If you do not repay the loan, the bank can take the collateral from you as repayment. Mr. Wo, collateral no dey so see awa. And no dey won pe bibia wo di besiano because na se want to me entia na say bank no so ye aduma say ebenya siko. Enya say be say boka o. Nti ebe pesa wo bibi eti se no ana se brokra nti eno de baby a wo be ko bia ye baby sa aba bi for collateral ewo esani odwehin wa denche dan buy a bank. And your capacity to pay. You see, the bank considers how much other debts you currently hold and companies that you are likely and compares that to your likely income. Sorry. One be ahia wo nkrofo wo income a ebetumi abem ni ahwese ye mouse loan na wo betumi atia na. They will look at this and see if we give you the loan, will you be able to repay? Abakwa hakeka ha bu loan obaje ni repay lo because akwa hake ohia mokonyomo oba bi ehu ni esani ochuni hu ewo ke ahaboshika obanye ni ochuni ni onna shika ni pay debt efen lo abakwenu hu ewo fine ene mefe ke ofe o plan esani o kwelo juba. And your capital, this refers to how much equity you have. The more you have invested in the business, the more confidence the bank has. Now, what the okopo BC and what the business is, what the Oshinko much as okra won't business ninji. No, funny sikama. Ke oke shika ko business me bank ba jack boden check business obe hope ake business ba generate funds ni over be ake habu mo. And conditions are also critical. This refers to the condition of the company or industry sector and how well your business will be able to handle the downturn in the economy. But so airline business and tourist we na sanya niema ya bibi ada din media menya bank die but me u baby samisika mehwe omienu na chese bia na ne agi plan bia wo de ba na di twam kura nti we num ne niema ya na bank ne hwem wa hu nti na in short na lenders we num no one hwe pa. And I have given you a lot to think about today. Before we conclude, let's reflect on what we have discussed. And mama bebre a wo kopin ho. Mpacho enkasa me na mama wa anaji wunda o. Me se dwen ho ni mutim. Nti ye fi ase nyina me ni kula ni wo fi. Ene ni twumo na nke ba na agbe eni ke ni started nke wo ba discuss wo ba introduce wo he. And then we'll look at shifting your perspective, adjusting your business plan, explaining your plan to lenders, and we'll conclude beautifully. What have we done? We said by the end, you should be able to identify your business strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats in the current marketplace. You should also be able to adjust your business plans for the new circumstances and explain your adjusted plan to lenders and other shareholders. Have we been able to do that? If we have, please give me yes in the chat box. If we haven't, please give me a no. And James, we are almost through. Have we got any backlog whilst we wait for the yeses or the nos? I'm leaving the topics on and let's see what my participants say.
Okay, Margaret, thank you. Thank you so much. We've had a lot of participation on our chat boxes, both on Facebook, YouTube, and here on MS Teams. So please allow me to read a few yeses that came to our question on whether our participants had understood between linking our strength and our weaknesses. So there's one very interesting comment that came from Abbas on Facebook. Abbas had said on strength, yes, I am now machining things that are related to the pandemic in my machine shop now, and automation of the Veronica buckets. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Wow.
So there are a couple of yeses that came. Yeah, so Imoru said, I understand. Francis said, I understand. Afua on YouTube had said, yes, this is very informative. And we have a couple of comments here appreciating the session. They're really enjoying. There's one, Emilia Wendy from Green Pro Commercial Ghana Limited says, I really appreciate your efforts in assisting businesses. We are very glad if this can be done more often. So very much. Back to you, Margaret.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, and thank you very much, my fellow entrepreneurs. So let's look at this, the next steps. So please, when you go back, complete the marketing plan SWOT analysis. It was so insightful. Business plan, SWOT analysis, marketing plan, modify your business planning, right? Modify no and kasa die oh yeah me do ma me no kasa yo die me pese me yense me kasa wi me pese ko na di ye adwuma na business no ejina ma why misrew. And it's a hia so oni lenders ne bank ni ade be bon komo a utro wi a ne won ko kasa hwe. So you talk to the lenders when this is over and inform stakeholders. Say me catch them communication na dey here. Mo inform me mo catch on the AC. Kemo nya Kenya stakeholders say in your plan na ni ake stakeholders say real. Ona Kenya fe hu be jake oba fe keke coffee. Actions speak louder than words. Execute against the new plan. When you finish, please make sure we are plan making sure so we may ye juma mawa business no a bit why. Me pacho and there miss many agents miracle because if you are here with surviving today to thrive tomorrow, if your SME perspective, if you're borrowing during crisis, you're communicating with stakeholders, then you're adjusting your business plan. And then the mat dear me de ban and me dear baby, minimum but minimum same so we started with an SME perspective, surviving today to thrive tomorrow, borrowing during crisis, communicating with stakeholders during crisis, and then adjusting your business plan during crisis. This brings our sessions with you to an end. But Minja Musa, I never leave you alone. I leave you with useful resources. So these resources are on the flyers that will be sent to you. Please make good use of the useful resources. Read them. They will help you. They will further explain what I have done. Pacho kan ebe buaw, ebe explain the mayeno. Na misro. Se uwo asembia o peso bisa bank na mpenimfo no so ewo ho no one details na mede abokono nti no and also crab a flyer no so nti would you insure cra enough business plan template to crab mede amount. So if you need to contact the bank, these are the people you need to contact. The details are on the flyer, so don't worry. Okay, it's okay. Bank official say we nke amegbe ke am telephone number say copy she in a flyer telephone number yen no that brings me to the period where I ask you So, Linus, we are done. So I can take questions and answers, right? So this is the period where I ask you, what are the questions, comments, or clarifications that you may require? I'm here, and I've got the officials from the bank who will support as well. Thank you. Madam Wasi,
Thank you so much, Margaret. We're actually going to do something slightly different for this webinar before we head to Q&A. Right now, we're going to check in with our in-studio panelists, Linus Kumi, Director Commercial and SME Banking, James Orakatete, Head of Enterprise Banking, and Gustav Ni Ayi Mokabi Ari, Head of Commercial Banking, just so that we can hear what you, our viewers, have been sharing with them since we began this webinar series in early June. My first question is for Ni. We have had 4 webinars, including today's, on very interesting topics for our SME client base. What feedback have our customers given you with respect to how beneficial these webinars have been to their businesses? And also, as an additional supplement to that question, how does that tie in to the overall objective of this collaboration with IFC?
So thank you very much, Yvonne. And thank you, Margaret, for a great presentation. I think that we set out to be able to reach out to our customers during this period. Especially what we recognized was the fact that for the SMEs, the pain points is how they'll be able to sort of like manage their books during this period. How do they assess finance? How do they survive? And that informed the topics that we selected for this thought leadership program. Generally, we've received a few or a lot of congratulatory messages from our customers. They've expressed how this program has supported them, and also what is very striking for us is we've come across a few other clients who are not necessarily customers of Fidelity Bank, but they've also been able to join on this program, and they have come back to say that these things that we are organizing are very beneficial to their operations. And I think that on the whole, we are satisfied with this program. We think that it's something that we will do going forward, because it sort of like enables the clients to get that confidence to reach out to us as a bank. And because we provide a very essential service, these sort of thought leadership programs are something that we'll continue to do. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ni. So my next question is for James. James, SMEs play a critical role in the Ghanaian economy in terms of GDP and even job creation. Given that we are certainly not in normal times, how are you interacting with your clients, and how are you getting things done?
I'd like to start by really acknowledging what you said. Indeed, SMEs are very critical to the economy, and they even contribute about 70% of GDP, and then employ about 70% of the people in Ghana. So this is actually a critical sector that is worth focusing on. And so when you have a problem like we have, it's very important that you don't lose focus, but then you make sure that you are still engaging, because, and you know, engaging them too can be tricky, because they are not like your typical multinationals. And so one size fits all approach also doesn't work. I might say in Fidelity, we've always been proactive. So I might say when this thing happened, the pandemic came across, we were actually ready, in the sense that in these times, face-to-face interactions always drop. And so how do we engage them using other channels? Now, we have our mobile and online banking channels and other electronic solutions that we've been using to engage our customers. So whether it's engaging them for a conversation, to have meetings, they sending across their transactions, or any other way of engagement, we were ready. So there were solutions to cater for all these things. Now, aside that, you would have your typical SMEs who would want a certain kind of face-to-face interaction. And so how are we going to address these people as well, aside those who were tech savvy and could use any of those online solutions to engage us? What we sought to do is to make sure we're respecting all the protocols. So if you come to any of our hubs or you want to meet any of our RMs, we make sure our RMs are well equipped. So they have all the face masks or nose masks. They have hand sanitizers. When you walk into any of the hubs or branches, there's the soap and then water to wash your hands and everything. Hand sanitizers across all the branches and all the hubs. So when it comes to those also coming in physically to engage us, that is also taking off by making sure we respect all the protocols put in place to keep our customers and our staff safe. Now, internally as well, what we sought to do was to make sure that transactions were being processed with minimum contact where possible. So also internally, we have the various solutions so that our staff, if we need to engage each other to push things across, there are online ways of engaging. In terms of solution itself, pushing credit, pushing memos, pushing things across, we are already well equipped with technology to push those kind of things around without using paper and with minimum contact. So I must say we were kind of ready before this came, and it hasn't affected our TAT or our interaction with our customers at all. Thank you.
Wonderful, James. That's great news. So our final question before we head to Q&A is for Linus. Linus, businesses and the markets are describing these times as the moment of truth in terms of SME sustainability and growth. How are you helping SMEs in this phase of the COVID pandemic?
Thank you, Yvonne. And I think I must start by saying that Fidelity Bank itself started as more of an entrepreneurial bank culture. Today, it's the largest privately owned Ghanaian bank in Ghana, and it ranks among the top 4 banks across the industry in terms of asset size and in terms of liability size. So we associate ourselves more to the dream of SMEs, to build the next SME to be the next multinationals in our time. So our objective, our approach in this particular pandemic is threefold. One is to stay close to our clients. How do we stay close to our clients here? Given all the protocols, the easing of restriction, etc. When it first started, what we did was to work out the phones, listen as much as possible. The trick here was to listen more to their needs, more to the issues, more to the hurdles they were facing, and then we provide a solution that worked for them. Okay, critical to this phase of the COVID was to set up our clients in a way such that they will be able to access our online and mobile channels to be able to transact their day-to-day transactions with ease. Even during the lockdowns, there was no need for you to walk into any of the hubs to be able to transact your business. The second one was, what were we doing to assist them? There were clients whose demand were not going to come in and they needed relief measures. There were clients also who saw a surge in their demands. For example, those who were involved in health facilities, those who were involved in the provision of PPEs, to the extent that their demand was above the normal requirement. We needed to put in measures to be able to provide funding to meet those demands for our customers. The relief items we also did across board was reduction of interest rates, short-term measures like rescheduling of the debts, deferral of principal payments and interest payments, among others. I must admit here that these are very specific to client and to sector. So we looked at the overall business and then be able to advise on which area we need to support in terms of measures, in terms of funding basis. My last point here is enabling the growth. in this time of the COVID period. We are currently working closely with our clients and our risk teams to ensure that where we need to support in terms of funding, the bank is ready to support in terms of funding. Areas such as e-commerce, areas such as medical supplies, and we've also engaged our partners overseas and internationally on programs like Orange Corners, like WASH, which is water and sanitation and hygiene, to be able to provide certain things that will help fight the pandemic overall. So in general, these are the three areas we are working with: staying close to our customers, providing relief measures, and also helping them to grow in the business that they find themselves in. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Linus, Nee, and James. It's clear that Fidelity is doing quite a lot to be able to support the SME community. I think we can now turn it back to Jimmy to
I think you are on mute. Maybe if you could please come again.
Sorry, can you imagine? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was talking with the bank, and the bank has a way of finding out. What I know is that when they give you a loan, they want to make sure that you'll be able to pay. So they will come check out to see how much you're making, how much you're supposed to repay the loan, how much you're supposed to repay at every month or the agreed times. And if you can still make profit and pay without your business collapsing. They would want to know if you have collateral. Those are things that the banks check out. So I think, why should I belabor it when the bank officials, let's hear from them what they do when they are checking out these things. Thank you.
So I think I'll take a bit of the question. The 5 C's are very critical for us as a bank, more especially when we look at the character. We want to do business with people that will pay the bank back, because please do not forget that the funding that we are using to support your business belong to other depositors. So at the end of the period, the depositors will come for their money, and we need to account for it. Hence, we need to be very sure of the people we are giving the funding to. That is the C on character. Then the collateral, it is like Margaret said, it's very important for us to know that you have a skin in the business. And once you also have a skin in the business, you will ensure its success. The bank is not in the business of taking people's property and then selling it. No, these are what we call comfort levels. It gives us the comfort that you are involved in what you do. You are sharing that dream with other people. And we coming in as dream partners are supporting you achieve that dream. So we will need you to have a bit of your skin in the business. I think those are the 2 critical areas we sort of look for. Credit in itself, it's purely the willingness and ability to repay a facility that is given to you. And we can judge that through all the 5 C's. If your character is good, if you have good collateral, you are able to turn things around, your willingness will be evident. Okay? And your ability to pay will depend on your cash flows. Whatever you're going to use this funding to support will generate enough resources to enable you meet the repayment and even take some home as your profit. At the end of the day, the reason why you are in business is to make money. And our business is to support you to make that money, at the same time taking care of our business. So the C's are very critical in our assessment of your entire credit when it comes to borrowing. I hope I've been able to address your question, but please feel free to reach out if you would want to have a sit down, and so that we can have a better discussion or a prolonged discussion as we draw curtains on this.
Okay, thank you so much, Linus. Very great explanation on the 5 C's. So I don't have any further questions from my platform, that is YouTube, Facebook, and here on MS Teams. I only have a message of appreciation for the sessions that we've had. One last one here from Abbas says, Abbas is asking, please send us the useful resources to our respective email, and the answer is yes. We will share the presentation to your respective emails. So from me, I guess I would like to say a very big thank you for the participation today and the previous webinars that we've had. Thank you so much for those who tuned in, sending their questions, sending their comments. We are really very glad. So thank you so much. I wish you the very best now. And as we stay safe, please stay encouraged. Back to you, Margaret, for our closing remarks, and then you hand it over to Linux.
Okay. Thank you very much. It's been a joy working with you, my fellow entrepreneurs. Remember what I said at the beginning. The glass can be half full or half empty. It can also, so look at this. If it is half full, look at what I can do with the glass. I have drank it all. If I see an opportunity and I say the glass is half full, but I see it as an opportunity to fill it to the brim, as I have, I will not be able to drink it all. So seeing it as an opportunity to fill to the brim means you may not be able to drink all, but you'll be able to share with others. So as a business, how do I mean? Sharing with others means that your employees will also benefit. So seeing this pandemic as an opportunity to fill the glass full does not mean you are being callous. It means you are being a savvy business person. You will keep your employees. You will not sack them like others are sacking. They will also come and sip. If they sip, they will pay their school fees. So their children will sip. Their children will go to school. We are in Africa. Your family members will also sip. Your employees' family members will also sip. Because the money will go around. So please, don't think that making the most out of this pandemic means you are callous. You are not. See it as a glass that is that is filled to the brim, an opportunity to fill the glass to the brim. If you fill it to the brim, you know what is said, SMEs are the engine of growth of any nation. We don't want the nation to feel this sort of recession. We want to all come out strong. See that opportunity, fill the glass, make us all proud. And the time that we have spent here shouldn't be wasted. Thank you. I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. On behalf of Fidelity Bank, I thank you for attending our 4th and final session of our webinar series organized in partnership with the International Finance Corporation, IFC. In addition to today's session, this webinar series with IFC, we included other sessions on the following topics. Surviving Today to Thrive Tomorrow, that was held on June 11th. Accessing Finance During Crisis, that was held on July 16th. And Communicating with Stakeholders During Crisis, that was held on July 30th. Taken together, these 4 sessions provide you with the necessary information and tools to withstand any crisis. We hope that you have enjoyed these webinars as much as we have. And I'd like to take this opportunity to truly extend our gratitude to IFC for partnering with us to provide you with this important resource. Also, I'm sure that you will agree with me that none of this would be possible without our fantastic facilitator, Margaret Jackson, and our wonderful moderator, Jimmy Chakacha. Margaret, your knowledge and enthusiasm has been truly excellent. Jimmy, your professionalism and control of these webinars was perfect. While this may be the final webinar in this series for this year, Fidelity Bank will continue to provide you with valuable information and informative and valuable and quality banking services. Please contact us using the information that you will see scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We are here and ready and able to assist you with whatever you need. Working together, we can achieve more, because together, we are so much more. Thank you for attending our webinars, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.
Hey!